Hi, you guys. So, Josie here. Um, this is a wig. So I'm gonna take this off and redo my hair, and I'll change the cover picture before and after. I want to talk a little bit today about a few things. Now, this is a wig. I'm gonna take this off first of all, and my hair is braided down. What I want to do is put my hair in these. I want to get my hair in the little beads. So what I'm going to do first is take it out of the braids, so I can put in the beads. What I wanted to talk about is being able to so I recently, last month, on the this is hard to say. So last month, I lost my son's father. On the 8th of March. It's been hard. I lost my son's father on the 8th of March, and my son turned 8 just the last couple, not this last weekend, but the weekend prior. I'm not sure how to feel about it. And it pisses me off, but it hurts equally as much because it wasn't his time. It wasn't his time to go. And I just can't. So my thing is, you guys are going to see my content. And my issue is doing anything without staying occupied and keeping myself moving and stuff, because it'll just make me really depressed. And every time I make content, I have to be doing something else with it while I'm doing it, or else I'll get off topic a lot, which I'll end up still getting off topic. But at least you guys can, I think, because I want to like really encourage other people and who is struggling with loss too, and family stuff. I just don't feel like the support is there elsewhere with my medical and friends, family. So I'm taking this online to see if I can just get better support system out there to help me and my kids and be there and have me be there for other people, and people can go through this journey with me. And hopefully my goal is maybe sharing my story can encourage other people to just hang in there and, stick to their guns. However, they feel necessary. It makes me sad to the core. The main thing I'm more broken about sorry. Okay, the main thing I'm broken up about and distraught about is the fact that, let me give you guys a little backstory first. I don't know if you guys seen any of my older videos, but I've been going through it this last several years. And if anything ever happens to me or my mom or grandma, I want to just put my story out there, our story out there. We're actually working on getting a like a family blog going for me and them. Because we want to put our story out there if anything happens to us, and have these people change how they, maybe our story will help people see and change them to see things in a different light. I don't know why I think and feel and act the way I do about a lot of things, and why that's just how my personality is. But I know it's going to serve a better purpose out there. I want to, if I don't accomplish anything else in this world, that's what I want to do. People ask, what are you going to do about the things you have problems with or you don't like? Well, the thing is, when you don't like something and you have a problem with it, the best thing you can do is get you right first, and then go to other people and other places and find out why, and speak up for yourself. Backstory. This is part 1 of this, by the way. I recently lost my So his mom tells me on the 9th that he passes away. He passed away from an overdose, allegedly. And there's an open investigation going. I should have the autopsy report by end of July. I don't believe this. Call me crazy, call me whatever you want. I've known him. I've been in his life. We've been in love together, more on than off, but I've been his person for the last 12 years. I'm almost 28, and I've known him since I was 15 years old. His family I've known this last 8 years. COVID really broke up our dynamic, so to speak. So his family lives in Westland, and they're more wealthy, and they have more things, and they live in a freaking at least $1 million home. And when I met Steven, he was in school and he had his place, and I actually was in high school, and he is 4 years older than me. I'm a 90s baby. 94. He's a 90. And so he passed away at 31 years old from an alleged overdose. He was 18, 19 when I met him. And I was 15, about to be 16 or something. We met at a pool, and the pool at my complex that I lived in at the time, at least. Us meeting, we didn't think we would still know each other by now or stay in each other's lives. And when you meet people, you really don't know or realize enough how much they impact your life. So before I continue, this is the wig I had on. It has stuff stuck to it. This is the wig I had on. It's cute. Not new, but not old, right? This is a good wig, but I don't use it a lot. If you can tell whatever this is a frontal lace. I've used it. I got it from Maven. I love Maven products, by the way. And I'm not sponsored by them. I've been using Maven since 2015. I should be a spokesperson. Anyways, so this is probably my third or fourth time using this wig frontal, and I customized it to work for me. I noticed when you cut it at like uneven and jagged, kind of, at the lace, it makes it look more natural, especially when you lay it down. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to first glue it down before I sew it in so it stays put. I'm using Super Ghost Bond. I love this stuff. It works pretty well. When you shower though, and you use hot water, the heat makes the glue soft, but it works well once you let it dry again. That's the cool thing about it. I legit will put my hair down and then just, this is the best thing to use together. We all know what this is. And then this one. I think there's a newer version, a better version. I like this a lot. I swear the hold this thing has is amazing. Amazing. And I swear I sweat in this. I've danced with this and this. Once you put these two together, get it on your edges, get it where you need it, let that bitch dry. I kid you not. Ooh, ooh, that thing will not come off for nothing. Once it dries, it's, you see how I'm tugging at my hair right now? That's how snug. It feels like it's my scalp. Legit. And it's painful. It's fucking dumb. Because it's just like, it's not painful, but it is painful when, let me not get into that, when you're pouncing and it's just like pulling at your hair. I don't care. I make sure my sew-ins, so I'm trying a different form of sew-in this time. So what I'm going to do first is lay this down behind my ear. I like to let it go behind my ear to my ear bone back here. And then I sew it down really tight. That's my secret. I don't know about y'all's secrets. Y'all secrets be getting juicy nowadays. Anyways, I sew it down behind my ear. And then I sew it up to the, or I pick a side and then sew it to one side back here. So what I'm going to do is glue it down first and then do that. And then from there, sew it down. These are the pieces. It's not organized because I just dyed it and it's like red now. Wow, it's like red. But what I'm going to do with these pieces, it's going to be so pretty. So I'm using these pieces, but I'm using this blonde too. I know it looks a hot mess right now, but girl, guy, whoever is watching, once you get these, just watch me slay this bitch. Just watch me slay it because I will. It's going to get slayed and you're going to love it. The glow up is going to be bomb. Okay, let me tell you something. This, my content is going to be weird because I bounce all over the place. That's just how I talk. Everyone thinks I'm like, there's something wrong with me, but that's just how my brain works. I'm a different animal, I guess. Let's get this here. So first things first, we're gonna, so I only put it along my hairline here. My bad, you guys. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in now. And then I know I put a lot of little dots, but it all makes sense in a second. And then usually there's a little thing that gets dry on here, the liquid. So you should scrape it off before you use it. So spray. I do that, and then I like to mix the liquid in with my got2b. I meant the got2b in with the Gold Spawn, because for some reason it just holds a heck of a lot better than just not doing that, I guess. And I'm telling you, if you do this right, if you have edge retention and edge like growth problems, keeping your edges and having your edges grow and stuff, this will help a lot. Because I used to wear wigs a lot, and then it started like eating away at my hair, and I was wondering what was going on. Like, my baby hair grew back. You see this right here? That's only because it's braided back. But like I used to have bald spots along here and bald spots along here because that's where it would pull out. And then I'd have a little bit of a receding hairline right here. But it all grew back. It all grew back. This is my new baby hair. And then so put it on. Let it get tacky. And then, honestly, I think I want to go a little further with this. This is where the lace holds. And so I like doing it like this because what's going to happen once I put this down, oh, that bitch is going to hold. Nothing's going to lift it. The only thing is, because when it dries on hair, it holds. It holds like gel, like better than gel. And then when it dries on skin, though, it lifts because you sweat and you have perspiration of and oils in your skin, so it lifts. So the front, the like very front part of it is gonna come loose a lot, and all you gotta do is just get the lace part. You get this lace part just a little wet with water, because the glue is still in there. So when you get it a little wet with water and you just let it soften it up, and then warm water, let it soften it up, and just lay it back down. And I swear, when I used to dance, it used to build up. It used to lift up in the front, but everywhere else was perfect. Like, it wouldn't come out or anything. And I'll show you how I do my hair. So I'm gonna put this on now, and then what I start out doing is sewing. I'm sewing you from the inside, so, and outside. So sewing this part. So I sewed this part down right here in the back of my hair right here. And then I do it on both sides. So I sewed this part down, and then I to back right here. And then I just let it dry, let it sit for a few minutes. Once your hair really, really grows and start growing, it'll really start lifting. but for the most part, you can go at least 3 weeks to a month without to like 2 months if you want, without having to redo your hair. I did this a lot. Now my hair seems really short right now, but it's about, I'll take a picture and show you guys and add it to it. It's about right here, like shoulder length. I just don't do anything. It grows, but I always cut it. If you can tell the color in there, it's blonde. It's gotten darker over the months because I've been doing protective style, just braiding it down. And it got really long. My hair got right here. My stupid self cut it because I was feeling some type of way. So put this down like this. Let it go behind my ear. I'm only doing this piece for now. And then I'll do another video later with the rest of it. If you're following the story, so we met when I was 15 at our complex hot tub, and I'll admit to you, he's not really my type. He wasn't, at least when I first met him. He was completely out of range, and that's the thing. I noticed you don't date people for whether they're your type or not. You date them for what you connect with them in. My the thing I cared about most about him, he was just nice. He was always kind to me. He can be pissed as all hell at me, but it doesn't matter. He always, and we can be mad at each other, but he would always check on me and make sure we're okay and make sure that we're not going to bed mad. Regardless if we're mad at each other, we still go to bed together, you know? Or if we're not together, we'll just still be okay, at least okay, to just be like, okay, you know, we're just having a bad thing patch, you know? And I really adore that about him. I really love that about him, that he was just so, okay, this is just a phase, or this is just temporary, and it'll go away. It's just a phase. It's just something going on right now. And he was never really a person to be like petty about things or any of that. And he taught me just to be more mature and just like see things in a different way and not just be less mad about it. And just learn to handle it differently. I've learned so much from him over the years, and I wouldn't be who I am without him. By the way, I was trying to say, my son's dad is white. And one thing I've noticed, like, we've always had clashes about certain things, but for the most part, he's more black than I am, honestly. Don't take it weird. He is, because he listens. Like, I mean, I don't, that doesn't specifically make you Black from your hobbies and the things you do, but he listened to rap music. He's the most Black person I've met, but he was just in a cool way, like, like, I was like, I always feel like I can take away from him. And for how quiet of a person he was, he had so much personality and so much to offer, so much to give, but he was just so insecure and sad about a lot of things. And I hated that, because he was the most down to earth person I've ever met. And he also was just, he doesn't like fighting with anyone. He doesn't like confrontation whatsoever. He'd rather just say okay than do anything. About anything. That part I didn't like about him, because his parents aren't bad. I know they were probably just being overprotective or trying to keep him from certain things, but they went overboard. Something happened to him when he was 14 that he wouldn't, or around that time, and he got into drugs, and I wasn't in his life at the time, so I don't know what it is that caused it. After all these years of being in his life and knowing and loving him, he still hasn't told me. And that's the thing. Some people will go to their grave with secrets and things. I feel like if he had just told me and talked to me or said something to me and opened up to me, like, he was my best friend. I don't know if I was his, but he was definitely mine. And with how long we've been with, like, in and out of each other's life. So we broke up in 2018 beginning, and we didn't talk for about a year or so, and then a year and a half, and then I try to reach him and reconnect with him because we have a son, and we've been trying to fix our co-parenting and work on co-parenting off and on over the last couple years. And we really started to talk to each other this last year. I was in a bad place in 2020, all those accidents, and in 2019 too. And the things going on with me, I wasn't in a good space to be around him. And when we did reconnect, I was just so angry with him. And part of relationships, like, especially when you're in like with someone you have a kid with, it's painful when you guys break up and then try to co-parent. It's hard. It's one of the hardest things you'll have to learn in life. And the thing is, it's just, he gave me the chance to be mad at him. He gave me the chance to vent at him and tell him everything I needed to let him know. Because you have to get through that point to be able to co-parent with your kids, right? And as a man, as a father, you have to be willing to hear that from your current partner, ex-partner, whoever, because it's just like, if you're not willing to do that, then you can't make things work. One thing I've always had with him is to just be able to we've had that kind of a relationship where we can be able to make it work and communicate, because make it work because we communicated, because we were willing to have those tough conversations with each other that a lot of people aren't. And we were willing to, because even though we broke up and even though we weren't together for a while and we went through a period of not talking, like we still we still we still cared about each other. And that's the thing, moving on to a new relationship or not having a relationship anymore and having kids, like, and even if you have a new partner, I need you guys to like hear this and understand this, like, if someone has a kid with someone and you're with them, you cannot expect there not to be some kind of a relationship between them and their kid's father. You cannot, because the thing is, that's their child's father and they have to co-parent. As far as them, cheating doesn't count as co-parenting. Don't get me wrong. And I think that a lot of people get trapped in thinking they have feelings about with the other person, or they start feeling jealous, but that person isn't yours anymore. And then you have to, like, or if they're not yours at the time, we gotta start respecting each other's relationships to like let one die out and then start another one, because that's how things get messy. And I won't lie, I've done it. I've been in that space with myself and with other people where I had multiple relationships going. Especially as a dancer, it makes it hard because you can have multiple relationships going, but it's not in the same way. And it's not a relationship if you really think about it, because you have to separate them from their job. The whole point of the job is to show affection and be affectionate and be a partner, so to speak, to some degree, in the sense of giving whoever your client and customer is to the ability to feel safe and comfortable, just like psychiatrists do. Ability to feel comfortable to be themselves and show themselves and show who they are and express themselves, because those are the people that really take care of you. And you have to be a friend and give them kind of like a girlfriend experience, in the sense of like pretend to be their girlfriend, or not pretend, because nothing I did was pretentious to any of my customers. So I don't want to say that. The people I met, I really adored them and they respected me. I respected them. And the times that I showed otherwise is when I was in a relationship because I let my partner and the people I was in the relationship with make me feel some type of way, and then I took it out on my customers in the sense of like being mad at them about things, and that wasn't cool because I don't think they deserve that, but they didn't see where I did tell them what that was coming from. But I had to figure that out for myself. I ended up losing a lot of good, loyal customers over my previous relationship, and I treated a lot of people bad, honestly. Part of it is because, like, I couldn't even do my job anymore. I stopped for a while because I ended up starting to have anxiety and panic attacks at work and trauma triggers and all kinds of things. And a lot of that has been coming from me not being rested, me not sleeping, me just working, overworking myself. Being a dancer, it takes a lot out of you, especially when you're good at your job. And like, I'm a performer, I'm an entertainer. I don't just dance, and people need to see that. Like, now the sex industry is becoming more acceptable because more people need those type of jobs to stay afloat. But like, where was the respect for us when we were, because the thing is, a lot of married people and people in relationships assume that we want their person, and honestly we don't. We're seeing them for money because it's a job, it's a service, and we're not seeing them. They're coming to us. We never found them, they found us. So whatever they're choosing to come out and get entertained, or whatever their motive is, that has nothing to do with us. I just need to get that in the air clear, because it's just like, we're doing our job because we need the income, and just like anyone does their jobs, this is what works for us, you know? And it always bothered me when people would try to insult us, and they still do, because most of these girls in these industries are your daughters and sons and 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 nieces and nephews and friend, even your partner. And people treat us like we're not even a part of things, like we shouldn't be because of that. Okay, we're willing to do that to get the income that we have. The society we live in isn't supporting single parents like that in the work field, and it's not supporting like kids and people who were foster kids and adopted and got kicked out. And because no one goes to any job because they like a job. Most of the time they go because they need a job and they want a job to have something to bring to their family and take care of the people they care about, you know? So, and then those who go as customers, they go to to um learn to sorry to escape from whatever they're going through and dealing with, because it gets overwhelming on both ends. So you guys, my whole thing is to stop disrespecting dancers, and dancers, stop disrespecting your customers, because it's not fair. They don't deserve that. They're paying you. You can't disrespect them and expect them to pay you at the same time. Those are two two completely different fields. Um, Back to Steven. Steven would always be amazing to me. His family's white. They're wealthy. I know they have money. I don't care. But if they did anything to my son's dad, I'm going to investigate on it. I definitely plan on doing it. And anyone who knows the Strong family, question them. Question them. Yeah, they're going through a lot, but we are too, because that was our family. He was our family. He felt like we were his family, not his parents. I know him very well. Even though we were just starting again to get things right, because we're young, like we're young people trying to raise two like kids that we don't even know what we're doing. So it's just like, how are you? It's just discouraging. They over sheltered him, and he's just, y'all gotta stop over sheltering your children. They need us to know the truth about this world. It's getting too advanced to the point where we can't keep things from kids anymore. You know? I think that they did something to him. Because how are you supposed to tell someone in a text? And then on top of that, your sister give your sister my number the very same day or next day, and she comes telling me, "Oh, I now know your son is is Stevens. You've known since he was a baby. He's 8 now. Now you know. You have pictures of him and all kinds of things. You guys known. We did DNA tests and everything within the first year." So the fact that they act like they don't know is just it's ridiculous. And on top of that, they try, the few friends I know of his, his family has been telling people, oh, he was getting money from some cleaning job. First of all, he had a broken leg. He got a broken leg within the last 6-8 months. And he hasn't been able to do anything within the last 6 months. So everything, you take him, his mom takes him to the doctors. His mom takes him to anywhere. They live in the countryside of the city, kind of away from everyone, but close enough to drive. But not close enough Ubering. Ubering would be expensive. But it's just like, I don't believe it, because it's just like you handle his finances, you handle everything for him. And you still think that he can Uber someone to the house, and you want to say he must have borrowed money from someone. Well, I thought you said he doesn't have friends, you know? On top of that, you think his tax return, okay, you would know about that. His mail comes to your house. You suggested, made so many reasons and excuses that didn't make sense. I need a private investigator. there's something not right about how he died. And the fact that you already have excuses and reasons to try to cover your ass. And it's too convenient that it happened around when the fentanyl issue apparently was going on. It's just too convenient, too coincidental. And the way these people were acting, like her sister talked to me in her voicemail. I'll show you guys this too, because I need this to be out there. I don't care. I don't care. I care about my kids and what's right for them. And my son is a great kid. He didn't deserve to lose his dad. Who tells the mother of your kid, your grandson's mom, in a text that they're like, who does that? This is the day he passed away. The 8th. If y'all can read it, that's the message. This is her. And this is what her sister says to me. I'm putting this out there. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of people taking advantage of me and my family and just us trying to be normal. Like, we need to debunk a lot of our social stereotypes and stigmas and change our laws and bylaws, regulations in the healthcare system, legally, everywhere. Because the medical people told me that, oh, because I'm not married to him, he proposed to me. We've been together off and on for 12 years. And you're telling me that I don't have a right to what? We have a child together. His family used to go and see the kids, come visit the kids, and take them like clockwork every weekend. 2 or 3 times a week, they'll see them, bring stuff for them, go visit them on their birthdays, all kinds of stuff. And now all of a sudden you don't want any involvement. Literally within days of their dad dying. Does that sound like, it doesn't sound right to me? It doesn't sound right. There's something wrong here. So I'm probably going to end up just telling my story backwards from current and going backwards because I just don't know how to organize this. But I'm going to just say it, put it out there. At some point, I'll probably edit it correctly so that I can have it in short clips. But right now, I'm going to do full, long-ass lives until I can figure out to get this better. But this is what her sister sends me the next day at 1:26 in the afternoon. Now, mind you, he passed away apparently the previous morning. But she doesn't respond to me telling me anything, not even a peep. She actually texts my son asking him what he wants for his birthday that day. "8:34 in the night," she texts me. I don't know if you know this, but if you are trying to get in touch with Steven, he's dead, and I went to wake him up on Tuesday morning and found him dead. I called 911, but could not retrieve him. He overdosed. This was Wednesday the 9th, 8:34 in the night. You wait almost 2 days to tell me he passed away. And the fact you don't even notice your son struggling or anything going on with your son. And your house, you have a quiet ass house. There's no way you wouldn't notice. There's no way the dog wouldn't bark. You have a dog. There's no way something wouldn't happen. You could hear a needle drop at their house. And if anyone Ubered anything to him, someone would have seen or known. No one goes in that neighborhood unless they know someone there. Her sister sent me this message on the 10th at 1 at 1:26 in the afternoon. When I just found out yesterday he passed away, telling me,
Angel, this is Sharon, Jerry's sister. I want you to quit calling Jerry. And if you don't quit calling Jerry and you don't quit harassing Jerry, I am going to call the police. Now, Jerry has been through a terrible thing, and I realize that Ezekiel is Stevens, but that's your problem now. So quit calling Jerry, and I mean this truly. Goodbye.
I don't call her sister unless it has to do with the kids or to meet and have a dinner or lunch or something. The 8 years I've known his family, I've asked countless to do lunch, dinner, anything together. She would agree, and then, something came up. She's made promises to me and my family and my kids to help with childcare or help with schooling or help with something until we get back on our feet and until things get right, because there's so much I have to tell you guys. But I want to tell you guys before anything happens to me and put it out there before anything happens to me, because I don't know what's going on with my health. But if it's going to get worse, at least our story's out there. And if anyone did anything to my kid's dad, it can be investigated. If my son wants to know anything later on, it's all out for everyone to see, so no one has any missed information. I've never given her sister my number. I've never even spoken to her sister in 8 years. She lives in Washington. They go visit her. They've asked me if they can take easy. They've asked me if they can take pictures to her for holidays and stuff. So it's not like it's all of the bloom. They know us, and I've allowed it. Who does that within 3 days? And the thing is, that week, I actually called her sister. By the time I saw that message, it was at 8 o'clock at night. Because I called Jer literally after I read it, and I started crying. And she's like, "Oh, I prepared a gift package for you." Now let me get these words specific. I called, I'm like, "Is this seriously? Is this really what happened?" She said, "Yeah, I went and found him overdosed." She couldn't even say it right. Like, and then over this last several months, within the last 8 months, 10 months or so, she's been branching off from us more, from the kids, making excuses, saying, "Oh, my husband isn't doing well. He's really doing bad. Oh, my sister isn't doing well. She's in really bad shape." But when I went, and I've done several dinner dates with them since at their house, since I've done several of them over the last 8 years since meeting them. She's picked the kids up like clockwork, literally like clockwork, 2 or 3 times a week. She'll come visit them, bring them gifts, bring them toys, bring them clothes, bring them shoes, take them to the park, take them to go to the movies, ice cream. I'll say with the kids, she was great. She was great. But I don't know what happened to Steven. I don't care if you hated me or you hate me. I loved your son. I still love him. We knew each other better than anyone else in our lives. And even if I didn't end up marrying him, I definitely would have a very close relationship with him. He'd be my best friend. And I've never said that. He'd be my lifelong best friend. And we got robbed of that. Having a future where he can finally have a life. He changed finally. I see that. I wouldn't have invited him back into our life or let him be in our lives if I didn't see that. I've read his journals when he went to counseling and recovery. He wanted to change, and he did, and he got better. And he was finally starting to have his life, and it got ripped from under him. That's what breaks my heart about the whole thing. He wasn't the best looking. He wasn't the best at a lot of things, but he was a fantastic lover. And he was great to me. And he, at least the time I was around him, was all right to our kids and wanted to help always. and I miss him. I finally felt like I was getting a piece of me back, and it left. I don't think he overdosed, because days prior, this thing I'm doing with my gums is my health problem. My sinuses I've had my whole life, and it went away between 8th and 10th grade, when I got looked at back to Oregon, but it rebuilt up again, and now issues it's caused in my body, because I haven't been able to get help getting that resolved with why I'm having this issue. Okay. To even hang out with him, I needed to pick him up. This is the last time I saw him. No, actually, no, it's not. So we did a cleaning job together. And these are our messages. I'll show you guys everything. Like, this is how funny he is. And then I put him on my duo. I talked to him. So this is the 4th. Is the last time I heard from him, on the 4th. Well, the last time he texted me is on the 4th. And the last thing he said to me was in messages, "Are you doing any cleaning today? And let me know." I got some pills for my ankle. If thinking as an addict, okay, I had to do diversion and DUI treatment because I got in an accident. I fell asleep driving on a lot of pain medicines, and I had drank from work, so I ended up trying to get home, running on little bit of sleep, and I was gonna try to pull over downtown. That didn't happen because I fell asleep by the time I even got there. I stopped somewhere to get food, but ended up just being too tired. I was trying to stop and just get some rest, but the sleep beat me to it, and I ended up falling asleep, crashing into a parked car, bumper tapping it. So this was November last year, 2019, actually. I had my miscarriage February on Valentine's Day. Of 2019. So I've been trying to adjust to a lot of things. And then after I had my car, I had that accident. My car got totaled. Now, the last thing he said to me was he got some pain medicine from his doctors. His mom suggested he got on drugs, or he had fentanyl, or he got some other drugs from somewhere. Couldn't they have planted that in his room? I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting go the death of my son. I need to know what happened to him, whether if the police is going to tell me, I'm going to get all the reports. I need to, because I have a right to. I don't have to have a reason to. He is my family, and I lost him, and we have a child. I don't care if we're not together. I don't care if he hated me. His family clearly hates me. They're honestly racist white people. This is what I told her. The last thing he said to me, the last thing he sent me was kisses and a winky face. Timestamp. Picture. And that just goes to show he loved me so much. He was willing to give me and him time to figure our shit out. When him and I broke up, after about a year of not hearing from him or knowing what was going on with him, he reached back out to me. He kept in contact with me. Not a year, about 6 months. And then 6 months to a year, I was already pregnant and in a new relationship. I tried contacting him, stay in touch with him, but then it didn't happen. It was when I was with my daughter's dad. She's 9 now. I was pregnant with her when he reached back out to me, and I told him. They both knew who's who. And my son's dad spitefully signed my daughter's dad's. My daughter's dad's spitefully signed my son's birth certificate, and we've been waiting 9 years to fix it. Now he's gone, and we did a DNA test. I think it's DDC I went through, but their building is closed now. I can't get support for getting Social Security and getting help for my kid because the building isn't open anymore from COVID, and all their systems changed, and now we have to go to some general warehouse place to get information and get copies of everything. So right now I'm waiting on that. But if anyone knows about anything in Oregon legally, send me some information and help me, because I know I have rights. And I'm going to find it. It's only been 2 months since he's been gone. But I need to know what happened to my kid's dad. And I should have a right to have input on what happens to his body. He would have not wanted to be cremated. And I wish that we can keep his body, because he would have been better and wanted to be with us, because he didn't feel at home with his parents. And whatever the reasons he stayed there and was with them, I wish he would have told me. Her sister called me pissed off. I called her the next day after hearing that message. So this is Thursday. And I asked her, why would you send me something like that? I just found out about Stephen's passing yesterday. She said, well, my sister called me distraught and broken up, and I needed to let you know. And I'm like, I've never talked to you. I've never given you my number or anything. So she definitely did. And whatever she said to you, maybe you should have wanted to ask me, or at least talk to me first, because she told her that whatever she told her. And I told her, hey, I found out. So my son's dad passes Monday morning, apparently. I find out Tuesday night. You call me Wednesday morning. And then I'm harassing her because I called her after I saw the message that she sent me about him passing. And then I called her a little bit later. I left a voicemail saying, hey, I'm sorry I got so emotional and I was crying. I'm a little better now. Give me a call. Let's plan something to, do something small just for us. He would like that, if you don't want a lot of people. I also asked her, hey, can I get his birth mom's information so that I can let her know? She refused, and she also got mad about it, saying, oh, I can't do that. And then she tried to say ovarian cancer. So his name, I don't know his birth mom's name. She had brown hair. She seems, I honestly don't know. She seems cool. I met her one time when my son was a toddler. Me, him, and our kid met her. So this is a message between her and I. She said she found him overdose, and I said, can I have a death certificate for our family and to notify child support? And she's like, yes, but I don't know what that means. And are you burying his ashes somewhere? She says, no, his ashes are staying in our home. And then this is what I say to her.
One of the main reasons I kept trying to get off of Ezekiel's birth certificate is so that I can have Stephen's name on there. And I still want to get that process because I want him. can do for him. That's what I've been trying to do all along. I don't want him to die without his last name. I mean, I don't want my son to continue without his last name. I want to still get that change.
And then I said, can I please have his mom's information? As much detail as you have, she needs to know. She tells me she passed away. His mom passed away from ovarian cancer. Stephen, I had recently asked about his mom within the last 2 months when he was still alive. And he told me his mom moved out of state and he doesn't remember where, but she changed her information and da-da-da-da. So he's telling me his mom moved out of state, and she's telling me his mom passed away from ovarian cancer. You don't even talk to his mom. Every time I've asked you about his mom, she would get mad. And I said, what's her name and info? I'd like to still have her full information. It's going to be on the birth certificate. So, I mean, she's like, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Leave me alone. And I said, I want his information to have a service set up for him out of respect and closure, please. He has people who loves him. It might not be a lot, but we matter. You matter. We're his life. I'm his life. And I love him. And he, at the time, I was worried I was pregnant. And I was waiting to find out to tell him. I got mad and I told her, you owe Easy his father belongings, clothes, pictures, items, things he liked, and kept things to remind him of him, please. I wasn't making up my health issue. I sent her a bunch of stuff. I would like to have access in knowing what happened to Stephen. I know you were tired of taking care of him, but he was trying to get his life back.
leave your cigarette box and your candy and your everything. But guess what? No, you're not, because it's gonna end up going right back there. It's not my crap, and I'm picking it up. I'm picking it up. Well, someone out here in this court, in this office, in this building, you can pick it up, get out, and get out. Well, that's why I'm doing that. I look away. That's why I look away, because I'm the one who
Oh my God. I didn't realize that took so long. So, that's a story for another day. Actually, I'll just throw it in there right now. This is why I'm getting a house, not an apartment, because this is too much. Now, I got mad and I said something really intense. So he was trying to get his life back, fix it, and this was his turning point, and you robbed him of that. He wouldn't have done enough drugs to OD. He was better. He was changing for the better for his son. I love him even if he never got back together. He was happy to be with his son. And I was happy to have one of my few longest friends since I was 15 again. Steven and I truly was in love with each other, and no matter what we went through, he would want us to have that at the very least out of love. I don't want your money. I have my own. I just want your support for Ezekiel and Steven's sake. That's all he wanted from you. Cordial, common, genuine courtesy, to be himself, to get out of his comfort, try things he's afraid of. He was getting better after his treatment, and but you just control everything, and because you see him as a pet, not your son, you gave up on him a long time ago. He's always felt that way. I told you a long time ago. He was finally starting to be the son you wanted, the father, and the man I needed, and it was a threat to you and your heartless pocketbook because you're racist and you hate me. Honestly, it's true, because who the fuck gets mad at this message? So we've been having clashes over the years. So last couple months, she's been acting like this towards us. January 14. January 14, and he passes away March 11th. March 8th. January 14, me and his mom was arguing and talking. Not arguing, but we were talking. This is him. This is one of the few pictures I have of him just hanging in there. We went to their house. That's the fattest I've ever seen him. He's usually really skinny. And then this is our little mister sitting next to him, just hanging out. I don't know if you noticed my daughter in the background. One thing I can't deny is I love him to the moon and back. I do. I do. And then, sorry, I got sidetracked looking at them. So I went to his house, their house. I was going through it. So my mom's been getting mad at me. So I went over to their house January 13th, and I was going through it because I was not speaking with my family. My mom's been getting mad at me over the years because she's feeling like she's passing soon. All these doctor's appointments, all these medical appointments, being in the hospital for a month and a half, 2+ months at a time. She's feeling weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And her way she dealt with it is by taking it out on me. I went over to their house on the 13th, I think, and or the 12th. And yeah, it was the 13th. And I said, I'm at your house. I need to talk to you guys. And I said, I'm not doing okay. Actually, here.
I was trying to tell you that I am heading to your house. I'm near Milwaukee area, and I don't want to be around public people right now. Like, I'm not in the mood for that. So if you want to meet me at your house, we can do that, please.
I stayed the night at their house. She got mad. She wanted me to leave. She said, I want you to go. It's my home. I'll talk to you when you get your booster shot. Her excuse is, oh, you're not vaccinated. I'm like, I don't have COVID. I go to the doctors every month. So if I had COVID, they would tell me. And they're like, well, I don't want to risk it. I will talk to you when you get your booster shot, when your sinus infection clears up, and when the children are vaccinated. My booster shot, I can't get because the first 2 shots I got had me laid out for 4 months. I was sick as hell. I'm not getting a booster. My sinus infection I've had for years, and I haven't had a doctor to help me with it yet. It's probably given me some level of brain damage and nerve and muscle damage and a lot of other things. I don't know yet. The kids aren't vaccinated. I don't want to get them vaccinated because I worry if that's what happened to me when I got vaccinated, what's going to happen to them? They've been perfectly fine. They're negative. I give them I test them every month or 2. They've been negative. They don't go anywhere. Majority of COVID, they didn't go anywhere. She all of a sudden started these excuses about visits and meetings, saying her sister is not doing well. Oh, her sister's husband passed away last year. And she made promises to help me with the kids with childcare and some housing stuff because I got bad. I got so bad off. I was sick as a dog. Okay. And she didn't care. She would help me from time to time, but sometimes she won't. I've told her everything that's happened to me. I told her, can you guys help me and the kids because I'm not doing well. I can't get better unless I figure out what's going on with my breathing and my congestion. And I asked, hey, I want to get a phone for the kids so that they can have it for emergencies. And I sent her my expenses and everything, and then I told her just anything and and just help with basic things or just what I can't cover until I bounce back. She tried to tell me, I'll check into it. And then she got them 2 computers. I didn't really think they needed their own computers yet. They're a little young, and I think what they have at school is plenty of screen time. I planned to meet with her, and she canceled because the weather was bad. And then, so I went to their house. She's like, I want you to go home. It's my house, and you're vaccinated. And I said, I don't know what else to do. If I get them vaccinated, they'll get sick, and I'll have no help to watch them and be able to work even now because I'm not working because I wasn't working because I wasn't doing well. And I've been so depressed this last holiday, and at this point I'm alone with no help, and I don't feel well. And I sent her an expense breakdown, and she said whatever you can would help, and it'd be helpful. And if you doubt where it's going, you can send it to the account directly, or I'll send you the receipt of where everything goes. We've done that sometimes in the past. Because childcare isn't taxable, because it was my friends who were watching the kids, because I didn't want them to go to strangers, and they're on government assistance, so I don't want that. And I said I usually do well, but my sinus and breathing knocks me out every couple months, and it makes it hard to keep up, especially how physically draining dancing and cleaning jobs are. My insurance is high. And I'm struggling balancing both jobs. The kids are super excited to see you and been having so much fun hanging with Steven. They don't have school until Wednesday. They canceled a couple days due to staff shortage. Me and the kids are healthy and well. And I have COVID tests every month. And she said, well, we're still worried about you getting vaccinated and you not being vaccinated, and we're susceptible, we're not doing well. And I'm like, if I don't have COVID and my kids don't have COVID and we're all well, they're not vaccinated, and we're keeping distance and all that good stuff, then what is the issue? As far, because you're still going out to dinner dates and appointments and other things, and you're not worried about them giving you COVID as much as you are as me and the kids, and we're your family. And so I asked, should we leave or should I wait till you could see the munchkins? And then we stayed and waited. And I told her I'm thinking to get a townhouse or something to give the kids space, and it's the same price as my apartment I have, and I don't, it's privacy and all that. I said the area I'm at is not the best, and I just want privacy. Kids are winding down. She came by. We had dinner. Everything seemed fine. And I said, kids are winding down. I've been up since 6. But they just don't know how to act after not seeing you for so long. And we don't mean to be awkward, but we can't get more comfortable around each other if we don't talk or see each other often. I don't want you guys thinking I'm using you. I only ask for help when I really need help. But I want to be around outside of that. So they were gone all night. They stayed in the hotel. They were that opposed to me staying the night. That they felt they had to stay in a hotel instead of at their own 5-bedroom house. We had dinner. Everything seemed fine. She gave me an envelope. It had money in it, and it had she gave me a gift bag, and it had stuff in it for the kids, and then it had an envelope that had money in it. I didn't check anything or see anything until later on that night. Then she texts me saying, I would never give you cash again. If you need anything paid, I'll make a check. If you need anything, I will pay for it. Everything I pay will be paid to the company. Yes, I think you're coming to my house without ask will not happen again. Stephen lives there. And if I need to go pick him up, I don't need to ask you because he lives there. And he's my son's father. And we're co-parenting. So you may not like me, but we can't co-parent if we can't communicate and be in each other's lives. They really didn't like me. And I told her I came by because I didn't know what else to do. And I know you and Steven is there. You seeing how my family is. And I said, that's okay too. If that makes you more comfortable to know how the funds are used, I'm honestly needing support. The kids miss you all. And I don't know what's going on, but I'm just overwhelmed and I can't get healthy without downtime to do so. I only ask for what's necessary, especially when it's hard to keep any stable work and childcare during COVID. Not saying pay everything, but just help me with where I'm short every month. And I only asked anyone for help when I really and I can't get a hold of Chanel's dad. I really appreciate that you help with her though, and you don't have to. You should have seen me last night. I couldn't get any words out. I cried so much till I fell asleep, which is true. And I've been pretty shattered about my family because I don't feel like I have reliable people in my life. And I couldn't get any sleep because of how restricted my breathing has been. You visiting kids was the best thing to them, and them seeing you today was the best today. They've had all holiday. We're not sick. I can go to the clinic and get proof of all our tests. You don't have to give me cash, by the way, especially not so much, but I appreciate it, and they'll help with some payments. I'm behind on. I'm trying to get my life stable, so close, and at least I'm trying to do something with myself for the kids and I. Steven, I haven't helped in years. Neither have Chanel's dad. If you're going to get mad, be mad at your son, not me, actually out trying to build independence. He's the only one trying to use you because he knows he can. By the way, he's not. I shouldn't have to work 2-3 jobs just to get by. And then you're taking care of him in your household and not and thinking what I'm doing when you're enabling his addiction or his issues that he has, because you're not giving him the chance to be independent. He doesn't even feel like he can, because you have him feeling so discouraged about himself that he's not enough, or however you talk to him. Just because you talk nice in front of me, that doesn't mean, or just talk because you talk a certain way and not yelling and screaming, that doesn't mean you don't talk badly or belittle him or micromanage him, or just doesn't give him the individuality, the chance for him to feel independent and on his own, you know? And I've had anxiety breakdowns, and I don't feel like I should be alone with the kids. I had to turn somewhere. And can you meet my godparents? They've known me since I was like 8. Nothing I'm saying or doing is to use your family, and it's not using when it's to support. Stephen should already be doing it. I know you were racially biased towards me, but I hope someday you see I'm like any other person. Ezekiel's still half of me. And after I said that, she says, don't ever contact me again. I've never been racially biased, and I was Dr. Martin Luther King's biggest supporter. I lost many friends because of my friendship with people of color. Don't ever contact me, ever. And I said, well, I feel like that's part of why you have a wall up when we talk. If we can't communicate, we can't understand each other. They handled last night well, and today, and I stay close. They had a blast. I think it might help trying to visit with someone, trying out more visits, maybe a couple hours a week or something to start. I'm trying not to insult you. I'm not trying to insult you. It's how you make me feel sometimes, because I don't know much about you, and I keep trying to, but I feel like there's a wall up. And then she sent me a message. Would you wish Chanel a happy birthday? Tell her I love her. And this was on Chanel's birthday, January 27th. So from the 14th to the 27th, she didn't communicate with me because of what I said. And then I said, the money you give me went straight to bills and childcare. I went to buy her an Easy Some muffins and hot cocoa this morning, and my car got turned. You think I'm using you? And I have no reason to, and I'm just trying to get by. Got a new job. It's a schedule at this new bar. Pay 16, only part-time. I stopped dancing last November because I haven't been feeling well, and I had a really discouraging situation with the people at my work, and it just made me feel just awful. I had a bad holiday. So I stopped dancing, and I was managing somewhere, and things were going good. It felt good to just be doing something normal. But then I stopped doing that and focusing on my business more. I said, It's only part-time. I don't have money to celebrate with kids. I came to you all for help because I'm in a lot of pain, and it's been several years getting unsuccessful getting treatment. All I asked was to help keep us afloat until I can get back on my feet. And the kids are feeling a lot of distance. Other than school, they don't get to be around others a lot. And it's been so cold, no one goes to the playground. They were sad to leave the other day. I really do want to keep positive between us so they can still get to see you guys. I'm only opposed to the vaccination because of how awfully sick it made me. And that doesn't help when you're a single mom. And I wasn't trying to piss you off. What I said the other day, I'm trying to communicate how you make me feel, and you keep a wall up. This shows you're being cordial, but because you have to be, not because you want to be. And I can't know why if I don't ask or express it to you, and vice versa. So I'm sorry if I offended you. And I asked her if Chanel can call her after school. And I gave her a text number. I don't know if she got it, but I sent her my godparents' stuff, and I told her everything. She knows everything about my life. Yet she feels like I don't. So she sends me a message on Chanel's birthday, and then the 8th of February, she asked me and the kids to go to dinner. We talk. We go over on the 9th of February. Steven's been with me a lot. I send her copies of everything so she knows what it is. He was over. I was sleeping. He left. She asked on the 16th if kids can go for President's Day. And then I've seen her a few times. I've taken him to his house and picked him up. I've been picking and dropping him off a lot, honestly. And it's just, it got so cold out here. It was snowing and raining and everything. And I got so sick. So sick. I can't be in the cold like this. This weather is only good for people with the body tolerance for it. It makes me congested to the point I can't think straight, to the point of having intense migraines where I can't even think, focus or anything. I can't even, I'm a blur. It's painful and it's tiring, and I don't know. throughout our interactions, their issue with me has been money. And I can see that being a reason for them having an involvement in whatever happened to Stephen. I guarantee it. I swear on everything. I had so much to do today, but this video is important. And if anyone who sees it, I need support. So please share it. This last year, something changed. They've been changing things. I feel bad that they made Stephen do whatever they made him do, because I know he wouldn't do that. Of all the things he can die from, it wouldn't be that. He is a smart. One thing I loved about him, he is intelligent. And I think that's something he loved about me too. So I know there's clues. You have all his belongings. Anyone who knows him, he went to Wilsonville or Westland High School. Those are the two high schools he went to. I'm not sure about his middle schools. He's lived in California and Washington, I think Utah, and here. To my knowledge, those are the places he's lived. If anyone who's known him or know of his family, his birth parents, please help me reconnect. We need support for our family. And I'm going to be putting out more content because we've got to change America. Not just America, the world. You guys, we all need a change. And maybe it's a good thing I'm putting out my content in this state and with my hair all raggedy and stuff, because we need to see each other in this light. We need to see each other in a better light to be able to be better and see that it's natural and normal to be not okay, to be broken and be not strong and sad and whatever. This is part of growing. The good is just as important as the bad. You know, I meant that the other way around. The bad is just as important as the good. So, about that little gap of time, I yelled at my neighbors. They were talking to me about garbage in the front space, and I yelled at them because it's not my garbage, so why should it be at my doorsteps, and then I caught myself because I wasn't trying to yell at them. I wanted to just talk normal, but I got triggered, and I believe you can handle things and take care of things without having to be violent or be harsh. I believe in that. And I'm trying to teach myself to be better at that and unlearn the bad. And I think that's something that's important for everyone to do. Practice and teach yourself to unlearn the bad. I hope in my content that I'm creating, you guys will start seeing more and more of things and reasons why certain things is the way it is. Honestly, also, I really want to teach people that don't take it offensively, but it doesn't help when people say that, does it? I believe that people need to be given time to change, given time to adjust to something that's new to them. And we need to change our terminology, because I feel like racism isn't a thing. It's a term. It's a definition of how it's not a thing. It's a term that people made up to cover fear. To cover fear, to cover jealousy, to cover fear of not knowing or being in an uncomfortable situation, being scared to connect. It's not a thing. Scared to try something new, scared to get out of your comfort zone. Racism is a phobia. It's the exact definition of a phobia, covered up by the term racism, the stigmas, the stereotypes, any other similar biases, or anything like that. Those are all phobias. They're all phobias. It's being fearful or judgmental or labeling something to give it a meaning or a definition or something for you to understand in your own way. It's ignorance. There's no hierarchy of superiority or inferiority when it comes to skin color, when it comes to equality, when it comes to justice, when it comes to health, law, finance, business, how we care for each other, how we take care of ourselves. Racism is not real, you guys. The acts are definitely real. Those are bad doings of fear. Those are actions of fear and of negligence and willing to or wanting to do things better and do things in your way because you're afraid. People who were developing this country and over the years, these people who grouped up to create what we have now, don't get me wrong, there's beautiful things about America and about other countries and how the system works for us all to work together. But we need to change this. We need to change this. We're tearing each other apart. And if we don't change this by the time technology truly gets into effect, we're in for it, you guys. We're in for it. If we don't change what we do to each other and how we act and the way we go about things, because I misinterpreted a lot of things throughout growing up so far, which is thinking that I wasn't good enough or that our population is small as a Black person. It's not true. And African Americans, how do you have the smallest population in the world, apparently, and in the US, 12%, right? Is that what we're claiming? But we're also the most utilized. The change we want is ourselves. We don't grow up being racist and being bad and doing bad things and all this other stuff, you guys. It comes from practice and learning, and we choose to do that. We choose to practice and learn bad things and bad teachings. And when we learn it, it's one thing knowing and wanting, but it's another choosing not to be or do certain things. If we practice being bad, that's all we're going to know to be and see the world as. If we just want sex and no commitment and no love, that's all you're going to get. And then you're going to feel like some type of way. But where you put your energy and your focus is where it's going to get brought to you. We have to stop hurting each other. Please. I'm glad I didn't get far in life to realize a lot of these things. But I'm farther in life than I would have liked to be to know a lot of these things. Because these are things we teach our kids from young. People don't grow up being a certain way. They grow up learning one way to be. So if you're a serial killer, there had to be some secrets in your fucking household for you to want to kill or kill someone else in place of the person you want to kill. But whose fault is that? Do these people deserve to die because of how you're feeling, because of how things you're doing or not happy with? Is that? Do kids need to die at school, minding their own fucking business? Do adults need to die? Trying to provide for their kids, trying to provide for their family, trying to go just live. No one needs to die for anyone. If it's not naturally, they shouldn't. Unless they want to. But no one has any right to take anyone else's life away, let alone happiness. Stop robbing each other of happiness. If you're not happy with someone, don't stay with them in a relationship for years just for kids or just for comfort. If you're not happy with something, your job, wherever, move on. This is the year to stop tolerating things you're not happy with, because what is going to happen is you're going to start feeling all kinds of things, like hurting yourself. You're going to start hating everyone else. People who are introverts don't hate people. They just hate being in public. They're fearful of public light and speaking and people seeing them. There's other things that comes with their fear. And you need to embrace your fear. All you bad people out there, I'm sure people think I'm bad too for being a dancer, for a lot of other things. But at the end of the day, whatever job we work, whatever things we do, we're doing it to make something in our lives better. Whether we do it in a positive way or a negative way. But at the end of the day, you need to figure out, is that thing actually making you better as a person? Is it truly making you better? And if it's not, heal yourself. Strangers out there, I don't know you, but I'm tired of seeing people dying and hearing people dying. Young, too. Young. Every day. And it's been going on. But shit, I didn't realize it as hard as I have been more lately. For the last 3 years. In order to reach your next chapter in life and your purpose in life and your calling and the things that make you feel whole, you need to start hearing yourself and addressing the things that break you, that make you feel broken, that make you feel jealous, that make you feel hurt, or that you feel whatever about. If it's good things, try to hold on to that. If it's bad things, try to understand it. That's saying you live and you learn, or a blessing, or learning, or a curse or something. I don't know how it goes. But I think people come in your life to learn from them, if it's not to bless you. And I think that we can use all the blessings we get. So those that are in our lives to break you and backtrack you and make you just feel and see that you're just bad, that's not the people you should keep. And sometimes you're maybe misinterpreting, because people don't say things to you if they didn't care about you. People either say things to you to hurt you or to help you. Those are those only two options. People do and say things to you to help you or hurt you. You need to decide which one you want more. Figure you out. Because if they are hurting you in any way, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, soulfully, financial, any kind of Lee out there, that's not the right direction you should go. We're at a turning point in this day and age. Take time for you and be vocal about it, confident about it. Heal yourself. We are going to be in a hard transition point this next couple years. By the time we reach 5 years of COVID happening, 5, 6, 10 max, you guys will see what I'm talking about. The reason there are a lot of losses and people passing and people getting hurt and all these bad things happening is the universe telling us to pull our shit together as a society, as a whole. There's a lesson we need to learn. So we are given tough tasks of loss and hardship when we need to learn something. That means you need to take a step back and see what it is you need to learn in your life in order to grow. Okay? Whatever we need to learn, that's on us to figure out. No one can help us with it. That's the thing. Back to white folks. You guys shelter your kids so much that they don't even know what to do with their own lives. And I'm not just talking about white folks, but you guys do it the most. I understand. And then Asian and Spanish and everyone else follow. But the thing is, the root of all of this came from Black people. On surface, you guys cling on to a lot of the things that is already in your culture. There's no white culture, white anything. You guys are the blend of all racial groups. because you bring out the best out of all of us and the worst. We do that to each other. That's what being a family, a collective whole is. A group of different people, you can't have that without having differences. But my journey here and my goal here in my content, whether it's Josie or Nyan Strong or whatever name I'm using, and my family uses, I'll probably make a slip of my real name or my kids or my family's real name from time to time, or friends. Sorry. Full disclosure, y'all can't sue me. I mean, if you want to, you can, but my content is for educational purposes only. And I feel like there's going to be a lot coming out here soon, and I want the people to know truth, what's true. And you can't know that unless it came directly from me. I see people putting content up, or I see stuff about famous people all the time, and I feel bad for them. They get it the hardest. Imagine living your life in the spotlight all the time. Think about it. We all have some level of that. Being famous, we know how that feels. We know how it feels to be racially targeted. We know how it feels to be bullied. We know how it feels for a lot of things, because at one point and another in all of our lives, we've experienced it. So with that experience come knowledge. How do you want to use that knowledge is the real question. And love heals a lot of things, so, and fixes a lot of things. So try to think about things you love and appreciate. And enjoy. And try to act on it. See how to do something about it. once I learn how to do this better, my videos won't be 3 hours long anymore. Sorry. But think about what I said, you guys. Give me some input.